I had my spiritual awakening when I was 17, and I'm now 53. And for people who've been on the path that long, or people who believe themselves to be broken, maybe beyond repair, those are the people that Source wants me to reach. Because with my story, I can reflect to you how I freed myself, how I stopped believing that I was broken, because I did believe I was. And when we woke so many years ago, there weren't that many people doing what we do. It's more commonplace now. But we were the ones to raise the frequency of this planet. And looking back, I didn't know I was doing that. It was only recently, in the last couple of years, that when the Ascension started speeding up the process, that I could see and look back what it was I was actually doing. Anybody on the planet right now, anyone on the planet right now chose to be here because they knew that there was potential for this planet to reach the Ascension in our lifetime. And everybody here, every single person, their soul had the intention of ascending. Now, not everybody is going to, and that's okay, because it's a learning experience. But for those of us that awoke early on in our lives, or who have had what we perceive to be large amounts of suffering, we've been preparing and we've been waiting for this for many lifetimes. And we're very skilled, but the human doesn't remember that. But what happened is we came in and we chose to carry a lot for the collective, for our lineage, and we processed it. So all those emotions came through our bodies, and we thought they were ours. Now, obviously some of them were, but many of them weren't. And we came in, like being evolved, we came in from many lifetimes carrying a light. The light of Sophia, Christ consciousness. We carried it in our bodies, it's coded within us. And we were waiting for this time. We were keeping it safe for this time, the time of the Ascension, so that we could bring it back online. But there were also other darker forces on the planet that didn't want us to ascend, that don't want us to. Although I believe it's too late for that. We've already crossed the threshold. But we, because they knew, they could see the light. We were purposely put in positions that kept us down, made us forget who we were. I mean, you can't really truly forget. That is still always on the human to remember. But they made it difficult. But that's why we're here. Because we're brave and courageous and strong. And we knew we could get through. So we've been going down this one trajectory, this one road. And people like me, like you, who are resonating, we're tired. We developed protective mechanisms to protect that light, to protect ourselves. And those damaged us. For me, I got chronic fatigue, chronic illness. And I asked my higher self, why? And Source said, it was to save you from death. I was going to die. I had shrunk so far back in my body, that light that was attacked, that was taken. And I'm not blaming other people. That is on the human to stop allowing those things from happening. But there are ways that the darkness has come at us with frequency, with systems that we grew up in, beliefs that we were creating, and we thought we had to be nice. So we let people cross boundaries. And then we got tired. And we question, like, what am I doing? Is this even coming? And Source wants me to tell you, it's here. It's here. So what I had to do was change direction. Because we were protecting that light for decades. But now Source is saying it's safe. It's safe to let that light out, to let it shine, to be who you are. And with the Ascension, there's many people awakening, so there's a master plan. And the human can't see it, but I'm starting to see that we're coded to remember each other. That my frequency, you remember through it. You recognize it. And we've made contracts with each other to help us remember at this time, to help us change trajectories, to turn in another direction, to not just keep protecting, but to now turn and let that light out. But that's so hard to do. I know it's hard to do. And it's been in the last couple of years that I've really started to change the trajectory. But it was hard, and it takes practice. But there is a plan, and we're guided. You're guided. And looking back the last couple of years, I see the process of something different than just what we were doing for decades. There was a moment about 2 years ago where I felt my energy. It was like, you know, when you hold a duck underwater and then, like a rubber duck, not an actual duck, but a rubber duck, you hold it under and it pops up. I felt that. And then from that moment, I was in another direction, but it still looked messy. It was very messy. Like I said, I got a chronic illness. But Source was saying, you're going to get this, Cheryl. The Ascension is here, and you're going to learn to draw boundaries. You're going to learn that you're safe to let that light out. And my illness taught me that. But on the outside, people see me and they're like, who is this master? What is she talking about? She doesn't look like she has it together. And the human feels unworthy. But it's our time. It is our time. And we're going to help the ones who maybe didn't believe in what we were doing, thought we were a little weird. But we were the brave ones. We were the ones that chose to dive into the darkest, deepest places for the collective and for ourselves and the lineages. So we're going to come together now. And we're going to find those people that we resonate with. And I'm just a step ahead of you. If you're here, even if your life looks messy, I'm just a step ahead. And Source was showing me, like those that are going ahead, there's an energy that, there's like, you know, when the cyclists have that drag and they kind of pull. Like, I'm not doing the work. You still have to do the work. But I'm taking a step ahead because that's how we're creating the new earth. Somebody has to create it. New systems, new way of learning, new information. It's all being created right now. And I'm seeing it more and more. So one thing that I did about 6 months ago, Source uses YouTube a lot to bring people in resonance into my life. They'll show up at the top of my feed, maybe how I showed up in yours. And there's a girl, her name is Cortnie. She's on YouTube, the Divinely Aligned channel, I believe it's called. And she is one step ahead of me. And she turned a corner. And she's in a new direction, one that Source knew I needed to be into. But I was so in deep in that other old way that we were in. Source knew I needed her information. And she talks about no more healing. She talks about the new human and the new way to live in presence. And we couldn't do that before. And I know we've heard this. People my age, we've heard this and we're like, we tried that. It didn't work. It wasn't time. Now is the time. So I followed her stuff for the last 6 months, practicing, because we're not just going to immediately flip into a new way of being. Maybe some people, but not for me. And the human mind has to loosen and practice and put their awareness on something new. So I started practicing. She calls it choosing yourself. And we haven't been doing that. We've been allowing others to play in their own wounds by shrinking our light so that they could stay and not look at theirs. But that's not choosing ourselves. We let them cross boundaries. It made us sick. It made me sick. I wasn't choosing myself. I was choosing old patterns, old identities, old beliefs. So you do have to start practicing how to be in your new, highest aspect of yourself. Because we're many identities and we can choose which identity we want to be. So choose your highest one. But that takes practice. So a couple of weeks ago, Cortnie came out with a 30-day challenge. She calls it the Chosen Challenge. And every day for 30 days, she gives out a meditation. She has some live, about 4 of them in the 30 days. And she has a weekly meditation that you do every morning to get you into that awareness, that trajectory of choosing yourself. Because Source says the human needs to be bribed into trying something new. So that's why I'm on YouTube. Source has been telling me for 6 months to get on here, and I put it off. But doing this challenge, that was one of the things. You don't put anything off. If you are in resonance and Source is quietly telling you to do something, you don't wait. That's the old way. The mind, I'm not ready. I need to do this. I need to get this ready. No, we don't wait anymore. There's no time to wait. We are in the Ascension corridor right now. So part of Cortnie's bribe to make it fun, she has games in there. And part of it is that if we feel called to speak about the course, that we can offer an affiliate link, and we'll get a portion of the cost. And her course is only, I think it's $55, which it's worth far more for me, because what happened was around week 2, I finally got it. What I've been trying to do, what my human has been trying to do for 6 months, to change fully in that new direction. And I felt it drop in my body, what it meant to choose myself. Getting emotional because I haven't been. But that's what we need to do at this time of the Ascension, because that's how consciousness comes through us. We have to choose ourselves. Source isn't going to come through if we're still playing those old games and being those old identities and letting people cross the boundaries and asking, why me? Being a victim, suffering. I'm still healing from my chronic fatigue. I'm still 1 foot in the old, 1 foot in the new. But you're still there. You're straddling the worlds, but you're still doing it. It's not perfect. It's not going to look perfect. But you have to start. And you have to start putting your awareness away from being the wounded healer, the giver, the one who's stuck, the one who doesn't know. We do know. You do know. But we have to get out of that old trajectory and into the new energy, into being the energy of the new human. It's lighter. There's more space. I can hear consciousness better. I can hear the guidance. It's so soft though. So you have to get out of the old entanglements. So I'm going to put a link to her course to see. Take a look if you resonate. I encourage you to take it because it helped me. And if you're 1 step behind me, she's 1 step ahead. We're pulling each other up into the Ascension. So Source wants me to encourage you with my story. And that's why I'm here. I feel so many beautiful things coming for this collective. So please don't give up, even if it looks ugly. It changes. It gets better. We're doing what we came here to do. And I thank you for not giving up, for staying on the planet at this special time, because we need you. We need the light. When the chaos is coming, you're going to be the pillar, and you're going to remember who you really are. Because I'm remembering. And you're going to do it too. I promise.